I want to know what you think, America. Give me a call at 1-800-522-8673. Tonight's guest is an English comedian and actor whose approach to life is a bit unorthodox. His critically acclaimed one-man show, Dressed to Kill, will soon be seen right here on HBO. Please welcome Eddie Izzard, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie. How are you, sir? Over there. And Eddie, thanks for coming on.
No, I like your chairs.
Yeah, very nice.
Why are you even sitting them?
Ed, are you an eccentric? You got the Beatle boots on. Yeah, you're a little eccentric.
Well, these are... I am eccentric. No, I'm not eccentric. I don't know, because I think people think I'm eccentric, but I think I'm incredibly boring and normal.
Yeah.
And because I happen to be a transvestite. At the moment, I'm wearing a beard. This confuses the fuck out of everyone. And... but I'm just, well, like, women have total clothing rights, yeah?
Wait, don't blow past the transvestite thing.
Well, no.
I just want to know what that is exactly, because there are different terms for
well,
a bunch of people. You're not gay in the least, right? You're just like putting women's clothing.
No, transvestites aren't gay. Drag queens are going to be gay, and transvestites are like male lesbians. which...
So you love women?
Yeah, but I'd like to be a woman as well. But I'm actually quite happy being a man. But a bloke who can wear a dress, that's fine as well. So I just sort of, like women. Women can wear pants now.
You ever tuck your penis back between your legs?
Why not? And up the other side and then put it on my shoulder sometimes.
I've done that in front of a mirror. I just wonder if other guys do it, you know.
Everyone's done it. If you haven't done it, you're not really exploring.
Eddie's right. Don't be a weirdo.
No, but the point is, you know, back in the 20s, women wore pants and they went crazy. Marlene Dietrich, Katharine Hepburn, they said, what the hell? And now women wear everything. They wear flat shoes, men's pants, trousers, a man's jacket, short hair, no makeup. And we're fine about that. There's no women transvestites. So I think total clothing rights for both sexes. It's just, it should be the law, really. Well,
I tease. I've always felt it's the most trivial of all things. I mean, you know what I mean? In such a world where there's true illness in that. When I see these guys on TV and they've got the thing on and everybody's shocked they're wearing the dress, I think, can I think of anything more fucking harmless than that? I mean, it's just their business. I know. I assume at some point you dig the feeling, right? I mean, it's got to be that.
This is a 4-hour conversation if you really want to get into it.
Yeah,
it really
I'd like to get into it, because people always go, oh, they must be doing it just to shock me. And I don't think it's that consequential a decision. I think it's just what you like, right?
Well, you know, like, straight women like wearing, say, a short skirt or heels or whatever, dressing up to go out because they feel kind of sexy. And actually, transvestite men have the same kind of feeling, but it's confusing because they also fancy women. So we're kind of like butch lesbians crossed with femme lesbians, and we're in blokes' bodies.
Have you ever had this 4-hour discussion with your old man and did the top of his head blow off in the middle of it?
No, I told my dad after a soccer match, and I couldn't tell him. I couldn't. Well,
describe your old man to me. English guy, or?
Yeah, my dad's very English. I was born in Yemen, and when he was 16, he was writing essays in favour of communism, and so he's like a 50s hippie, really, who with short hair. And he went to Yemen to work for 8 years, which is, no one even knows where it is. It's part of Saudi Arabia. So I was born there. So he is kind of eccentric and has a weird, dry sense of humour. And he's really into football. So I thought I'd tell him in a football match.
So you go to a soccer match.
Yeah, and it was there. And I thought, well, what if we lose? And I've told him I'm a transvestite. I don't want to go, oh, it's 3-0, and you're a transvestite. Oh, no. So...
But I don't use my hands.
So I thought I wouldn't tell him there. Shut up. And so I thought I'd tell him on the way back, but then we're going back and there's old football fans there, and I thought if he turns around and goes, you're a transvestite, with everyone just wandering around, I thought that might not be good. So in the end, we were in Croydon, which is south of London, and we were in a fish and chip type place, a sort of egg and chips place, and there was no one on that table, no one on that table. I thought fate has told me, say it now.
Right.
So I said, Dad, I'm a transvestite. And he said, well, all right. And that was it. He did. He was just really cool about it. He's the coolest dad, you know. But I've heard horror stories. You know, people say they're gay or lesbian. People go, oh, and the fights, and there's hellish stories, you know. But my dad just went, oh, all right, you know. I think it wasn't because it was because I wasn't saying I am a transvestite and I have a problem with it. And I'm going to go and live on the moon and eat spaghetti. And I just said I'm a transvestite, and I'm going to tell the entire country about it. And I was also, my career as a stand-up was moving on. And my stand-up is
how much of your stand-up at the beginning was built on your transvestite?
None of it.
None. Okay.
So I was just talking weird, surreal, Python-esque, Richard Pryor influenced, Steve Martin influenced stand-up. And then I started saying I was a transvestite, and they all thought, that's funny, but they just thought I was being weird. And and I used to have my first ever joke, which I said just after I told my dad. And I used to go and I say, well, if you're doing stand-up, you know, it's good. In a way, it's kind of good if you are a minority, because you can rail against something. You're a black person, you can rail against the white majority. And women can rail against men. If you're from a low-income background, you can rail against the rich. But I was white, male, middle class, so thank God I'm a transvestite. And and it got a laugh, and I was off, and that was it. And then I started wearing dresses, because people started writing and saying, I don't think he's really a transvestite, I think he's a Martian. And so I started just wearing what the hell I wanted to. And now I have total clothing rights. And I go everywhere. I've done gigs in Iceland and in Paris and just wear what I want. And also, don't wear, you know, I just go back in a trouser and grow a beard. I can do it all now.
Now, where are the best transvestites wearing their hemlines this season?
Usually shorter, because there seems no point to be a transvestite and wear them down to there. You know?
No, there's not much marketplace for the prudish transvestite.
Exactly. There was a great...
What if you're a transvestite in Saudi Arabia? Do you have to dress like a woman and show only your eyes?
I've got to go back. That's absolutely true. I've got to go back to my birthplace, you know, and they're just Yemen. They just, you know, they're Arab and they're not going to swing with it very well. I just got to go back there at some point and say, hey, I'm a transvestite. Just swing with it, guys.
Okay, now you're working the... I'm sorry, I interrupted you. I thought you had
No, I had one good gag. There was a written cartoon on transvestism, and it had two Russian, what looked like women with big hats on in the winter, big hats on, big overcoats, and they said, and there's two, and they're talking to each other, and one said, this transvestism lark just isn't working, is it? You know, and that usually was very funny. It's very funny when it's written down. It's a written joke. It's not really. It's a visual one. But it's
Eddie. Transvestites can be unfunny too once in a while.
That's true.
Now, let me ask you this though. Working that English, I know Mike Myers used to work over there, and he worked those English pubs, and he told me it was shit kickerville. And I'm wondering, you come out in the Chanel and start cranking up your act. Did you get stomped a lot, or were the guys coming?
I was a little canny about it, because I dropped it in, I fed it in, and initially I wasn't wearing a dress, and people just thought he's just being wacky. And it was actually, there was another straight guy who used to go on, and he used to do actually transvestite material, and he was just brazen about it, saying, got my first bra when I was 2, you know, and he started talking about it in tennis balls and stuff. And I said, are you transvestite? He said, no, he just started doing this stuff. But they just thought I was an idiot initially. And then I haven't really had much problem, because I've been really upfront about it, just saying, do you have a problem with this? And I had a fight in Cambridge where some people attacked me in the street, and I lay into them and they beat the shit out of me. But I took him to court. And won. And he was shot.
You came in dressed as the chick holding the scales of justice, right?
Well, sort of.
We got a phone call. We got line 2. We've got Sean from Kent, Ohio. Sean?
Yeah.
What's happening, Sean?
Nothing much. How about you?
All right. Is there a lot of transvestitism in Kent, Ohio?
Yeah, really. Actually, there is.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
Good.
Why are elderly people always classified as eccentric?
I think elderly people don't care, so they get to a certain age and saying, well, fuck it, I'm just going to wear the saucepan on my head and go out, roller skate up to my grandma's. Well, my grandson's.
The grandsons. Good cover. Line 4, we've got Nick from Milledgeville, Georgia. Nick.
Yeah, hey.
Georgia, bastion of freakdom.
Yes, sir.
What's happening, Nick?
Judging by the success of shows such as South Park, do you think future shows will try to emulate them and press the censors even further? And if so, where will it end?
Is that
I'm
What?
We have a translation.
Nick, if you ever want to call in, we're on cable. You can say any fucking weird thing you want, okay? There's no 8-second delay. Is he still on there?
Hello?
What was
Hello?
it? What did you say?
Hello?
Hi.
That wasn't me. That wasn't me. That was the guy.
Nick, what did he say?
What'd you say? He's confused right now.
He's what?
Thanks for touching base there, Nick. Line 8, we've got Tom from Hudsonville, Michigan. Tommy.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Question.
Are you a transvestite?
I don't think we have any here in Hudsonville.
Oh, really? Illegal?
Yeah, oh, you bet.
You bet.
What's your question, Tito?
Can you think of anything positive from all this bizarre behavior that could help better us as people?
Well, I said it earlier to Eddie. I think there's much ado. I mean, things that don't interfere on other people's lives seem so innocuous to me.
Well, I've got this crazy thing. I've come out, I've told people I'm transvestite. It's built in, it's genetic. I'm being honest. Hey, what a crazy idea in this day and age. It's kind of honesty. So honesty maybe counts for something in 1999. If it doesn't, then I'm leaving, going to the moon.
All right, Ed. Now, what about true eccentrics versus fake eccentrics? Is there anything more bothersome than a faux eccentric? I mean, that really, the contrivance of it all really bothers me.
It depends how extreme they go to. If they do stick a metal pylon through their head and set fire to it, and
well, you got to give that guy credit.
Exactly. I mean, I used to be a street performer, and then I was in Holland, and there was this guy. He had a steel metal girder on his head with spikes sticking out of it and flaming kebabs on all of them. And I just thought, I can't compete with that guy. You know?
All right, Eddie. Thanks for coming on. Eddie Izzard, ladies and gentlemen. Stick around. I'm going to do the news.